All right. Introduce yourself to the label.
My name's Jason, aka DestructiveBeats. I'm on musical directions now. My remix comes out next month, April 1st, pre-sale, and then the full track comes out.
So, how did you first meet musical directions label boss Robert Owens?
So I met Robert Owens at Beyond Berlin. A friend of mine, groove creator, Rudy, who you all know, is on Carl Cox's label, and he's also on musical directions with Robert Owens. He invited me to Beyond Berlin. He got us, everything that we needed to get in. And he hooked me and my girlfriend up with an interview with Robert Owens. So we interviewed Robert Owens and Groove Creator at the same time, and everything went well with that. I started talking to Robert. We became very close, and we were talking about how we wanted to do more stuff with our blog channel, My Playground Media. So I stayed in touch with Robert Owens, and after that event, he winded up coming back to New York, so I met him again, and I hung out with him again at Beyond Berlin. And after Beyond Berlin, he started coming more frequently to New York, doing stuff with Groove Creator, going back to back. And going back to back, they did an event together. And I just kept staying in touch with Robert Owens, and he kept supporting our media channel, our blog channel. And then from then on, Robert was conducting a remix for one of his tracks called Where Are You? And I told Robert, I was like, hey, I make music and stuff like that, and yeah, like I'm down to try this remix. Just, send it over. I want to take a crack at it. A bunch of people are doing remixes, and I was like, I want to get on this and give it a go and try and get on, a bigger label than what I'm on now. And I did the remix, and Robert Owens loved it. And yeah, so pretty much from then on, everything's been good. The remix, got accepted by the label. It's my first big label that I'm going to be on, and I'm super stoked and excited, and I can't wait for the remix to come out. So Musical Directions is based in Berlin. That's also where Robert Owens lives, which is going to be great exposure for the remix because, it's in another country. I'm all the way in New Jersey, New York. So that's also super exciting. And yeah, there's a lot of artists on Musical Directions. There's Robert Owens. There's Groove Creator. There's a bunch of other artists like, what's his name? Matt Black. Matt Black is on the label. So yeah, I'm super stoked to be on this label and to hopefully come out with one of my first, original releases on his label. Hopefully, that will come as followed. But right now, it's just the remix. And yeah, just Robert Owens is just like a really cool, laid-back kind of guy. He cares about artists that are up and coming. He doesn't walk around like, hey, I'm some big shot, I'm some big shot,
Artist.
legend. I'm some big shot legend, and I'm better than you and all that stuff. He kind of like talks to you and as if like he's not even a legend, like he's just, a regular person, and he just knows how to really uplift people, and he's just been great. Like, he has a lot of inspiring stuff to tell people that are in the industry, that are up and coming or making music, and I really just love that about Robert. And he's just a genuine, nice guy, and yeah, he really knows how to look out for people. So everything's been great with Robert, and yeah, I'm just super stoked to have met Robert through Groove Creator, and I'm stoked to have a relationship with Robert from here on out, and I hope to keep that bond, and I hope it just keeps on growing and we could just keep making tracks. Yeah.
So, what was the process making the remix?
So the process of making the remix, so Robert sent me a folder, and it just had a bunch of vocals in the folder, and I basically went through all the vocals and picked out which ones I liked, which ones I didn't like, and I pretty much sat there and did that for a while. we didn't really get any other stems. He kind of wanted everybody to do kind of their own original mix and just use the vocals. So I pretty much took the vocals and just made something completely from scratch. I didn't even listen to the original track, and I didn't even steal any parts from that track except for the vocal. So I just tackled it, you know. I just went in the studio. I liked the vocals immediately. I just started laying down some drums, and then I pretty much laid down the kick, and then I came up with a bass, and I started adding some drums. And then from there on out, I just had this idea of I want to do like a call and response kind of thing. And I found this synth that I liked, and then I found this other sound that I liked, and I had them like bounce off each other. And I just had his like vocals come in and out, like in the break, like a little bit in the drop. And I just took it from there, and I wanted to be like a very like heavy, like etogenic, like kind of track, something you would play, you know, in the middle of the night or like kind of towards the end. I didn't want to make like an opener kind of track. I wanted to be more like that. It's a techno driven track as well. It's kind of like a raw, hypnotic kind of track, maybe like a little bit of hard groove in there kind of, but it's more of like a raw, hypnotic, peak time techno track. And yeah, I just pretty much stayed up, you know, days in and days out and just worked on this track and just tried to get it done for the deadline. And yeah, so the process was just amazing. You know, working with Robert is just simply amazing. Like his voice and his vocals are just great. And I just really loved everything about it.
What was Robert Owens' reaction when you first presented it to him?
So Robert came from Germany. He came to do an event. He did a bunch of events, but yeah. So he was doing the event at Beyond Berlin, and we were driving him to the event. And I told him and Groove Creator, like they were in the car together. I was like, hey, I got this track, like this remix. You know, you gave me the vocals, and I said I'm gonna do the remix. So I knew he was coming, and I said, let me present the track in person instead of just, you know, emailing it. So I played the track in the car as we were driving to the event, and he was just like blown away. He was like, wow, this track is like amazing. He's like, I really like the vibe, the energy of it. He's like, wow, I was not expecting this. Groove Creator was not expecting, you know, this track. You know, I just came out of left field with this track basically, because like I was making a lot of like I guess melodic-y, like progressive-y kind of tracks, and I was just trying to find like a sound that I wanted to do. And I just got away from all that, and I started learning more about different sounds and different things, and I just said I want to do something totally different with this track, and that's what I did. And just Robert was like just blown away by it. He liked the way I plays the vocals, he likes the synth, he liked the groove of the track, the drums, just the bass line, just everything about the track. Just like, he was like, wow, this is amazing. He's like, I definitely want this track. I'm definitely gonna sign it and definitely add it to the remix roster with everybody else. So just seeing Robert in person, a legend, in my car listening to a remix that I did and getting blown away by it was just like something that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
What's your favorite part about being on the label? And or if you have any other work coming out?
So my favorite part about being on this label is gonna definitely be collabing with more artists that are on the label and possibly do some tracks with them. And also it puts my foot in the door. Basically, it puts one foot in the door for me to make more tracks for the label and get my first ever, well, I already have tracks out, but my first big like release. Not a remix, like straight up my own original track. I now have the opportunity to present something like that for the label now that I'm on the label. So my goal is to make something that stands out and get that track on the label, and then hopefully I'll get, you know, my first release out there. So I'll have the remix and my first release as well, which will be you know, amazing to be, you know what I mean? And just, yeah, working with everyone on the label, maybe working on something with Robert Owens, maybe something fresh like new vocals, maybe work on something with him down the road, who knows? But yeah, I'm grateful to be on the label, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Do you have any up and coming new music later on after this release?
So I'm working on a couple tracks right now for Groove Creator. He has his own label, which is on Infinite Experiments. My name's Jason, aka DestructiveBeats, affiliated with My Playground Media. Make sure to follow me on all my social platforms, DestructiveBeats, and also check out my company, My Playground Media _ blog, or myplaygroundmedia.blog, and also My Playground Media on YouTube and everything else. Have a great day, everybody, and I'm Jason. Peace.